Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Echo Underground Podcast. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about movies, music, and people.
I'm proud of you. You made it like 10 seconds.
Screw this. We just gonna continue. This episode is gonna be about the new album by Logic called Everybody.
Everybody.
So, Michael, what would you give this album out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give this. You see, only out of confusion would I give this a 7.5. Because I like where he's going with this album. It doesn't sound like anything he had before. Because we went to his concert and heard a lot of his songs, and we even went back into his history a little bit to a couple other albums, and then we liked those. But like this one, I think was a different direction because he did like what a lot of current rappers do, like they put like a sample at the end of it or something that sound like a sample, or like a really long monologue to pad for time or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get into it later, but I feel like there were a couple songs that did that. Like it's crazy though because I actually liked it. I'm not gonna. I feel bad calling it padding because I actually liked it. Well, at least some of them, but it just confused me because like it didn't sound anything like what his previous work was like. I don't know. That's how I feel about it though.
I would give this I think about the same, like a 7.5. I don't think it's a bad album. It would just I don't know. Some of the songs felt long to me, and then the transitions to the monologue wasn't really organic to me. It was just cut the song short, and then people start talking. A lot of times when it transitioned to the monologue, I was expecting more rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it took 3 minutes for the rapping to start, and sometimes there wasn't. It just ended the song with that. So I didn't really, I don't know, I had issues with some of the transitions, but we'll get into that. So we're going to do our top 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3. I kind of want to give it to Take It Back. Because it was the first song I heard actually come before today when we went through the whole album. You played this song, and I liked it. I was like, oh, this is, I don't know who this is. Like at the time, we weren't planning on doing, well, at least I didn't know I listened to Logic. And then she told me it was Logic, and I was like, well, shit. I really like it. It goes I don't know. Logic had this habit consistently throughout this album of just going hard on all his beats, like regardless of the tempo or the pace of his beat or anything like that. He's going pretty hard on it, and like a lot of times it's good. Like I don't really see any time it really didn't work, except for maybe 1 or 2 songs out of the 13 he has, and out of the songs that actually surpassed 5 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that one was pretty cool. I wish I could talk about it more, but
We'll get it.
Because here's my thing about that song. It's I'm really banking on this one for catchiness. It's oh man, I'm chewing my words here, but I could put up the first song that I got from the album was a good first impression, and it's not the first song on the album, but it's definitely one of the ones you'd be bopping your head to. It's a good beat to it, very strong beat, and like I said earlier, Logic goes hard on whatever track you give him, so I'll give that one to him.
Yeah. I'm going back. I kind of want to revise my grading. I would give overall 7.5 for this album.
Mm-hmm.
But for lyricism alone, this album's a 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's just if I include everything, it goes down. But my number 3 actually was Killing Spree with Ansel. I think it's Elgort. If anyone listens to him, if I'm jacking his name, just leave a comment and let me know. I'm saying it wrong. But the chorus is very aggressive.
Yeah.
It's very aggressive, and it pulls you in. You have to stop and look at it and be like, what? What am I listening to? But lyrically, he's amazing on this album. Ansel's voice sounds amazing too. And I actually thought it was one of the better produced. These two people normally probably wouldn't even go together,
mm-hmm.
but they really worked on this song. So that's why I got my number 3, even though the chorus threw me off.
It's not the kind of song you want to come pop up on shuffle while you're playing it in public or in front of family or something that.
No. Because the chorus, what is it like? Pussy, money, weed.
Ass, titty, pussy, money, weed, or something like that.
Something, killing spree.
And it's crazy. We just while you give it a 10 for lyricism, the lyrics in this outside of the chorus are actually pretty tough. It's
I think the chorus is kind of like a satire.
Yeah, pretty much. But still, like I said, warning if you're actually going to play this out loud somewhere.
Yeah, if you don't give a shit, play it. So what is your number 2?
My number 2 I'm actually going to give to the last song. And I have my gripes with the song. It's really weird. I have my gripes with this song because it's weird. On the title of the song, it says that Neil deGrasse Tyson's featured in it. Now, that's confusing enough to me already. but it made me curious though. And you saw also that the runtime for the song was over 12 minutes, and that was a little off-putting at first. But then I realized, maybe the last like 3 or so minutes could have got chopped off because everything else before it was so strong. I want to go back to the whole monologuing thing. All the monologuing things on this album were so cool. Like we're gonna get to one quote unquote track or like skit that was on this album later on. But like it's some deep stuff going on. It's like it's pretty conscious about a lot of different areas of politics and social justices in the world right now. And as far as the actual song goes, it's actually pretty cool. It's actually, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but one of Logic's slower paced songs. Like it's still pretty upbeat, but as far as everything else I've heard in the album, it tried it tried to slow Logic down because I already said he goes way fucking hard in this tracks, and he managed to find a healthy balance with it. And then the addition of Neil deGrasse Tyson, who had his own monologue in it, was also pretty cool. They were just saying, live your life, stop trying to live through anybody else. Don't put a value on your life that is material, like a car or clothes or your stature or something like that.
Africa Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that song, I didn't particularly like that song too tough. Not even because of how long it was. I wasn't really drawn into the song. I heard the lyrics and I liked it. I liked that guy Tyson's monologue. I even like that. The guy at the end who was rapping didn't sound like Logic. He wasn't bad, but at that point I was done after the 8-minute mark.
They should have ended the song right there. But like that's why I mentioned like they should just cut the last 3 minutes out. Like I feel like there was a monologue after Neil deGrasse Tyson about two guys walking, and it even could have ended after that. But oh man, it shouldn't. I don't know. Logic is so good that I think he overshadowed like this guy. Like he set the bar way too high in one song to be coming second. If anything, put this guy on first and then end with Logic and Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. And that's the only job I can have with the song. But everything else was so strong that even with my complaints about the song, that I still give my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is Taking It Back. Take It Back actually. It was the first song that caught my attention. It was the song that I was actually excited to hear again. Because out of all these songs, I feel like, besides my number 1, I would actually keep listening to it. And it's catchy, but it's actually saying something too. So that's why it's my number 2. Any other comments, or did we cover Take It Back?
Yeah, we both covered it. So yeah, we're pretty much solid on that.
So number 1.
Number 1, I'm gonna give it to the Red, White, and Blue, America.
We had the same number 1.
Yeah, it was a tough song. That was a tough song, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 1, the message. 2, he had really good MCs on there. I mean, he had Chuck D on there. I don't know who No Ideas or Big Lindo is. So if anyone knows who they are, inform us.
Educate us.
But he had Black Thought on there.
Right.
So he had a lot of good MCs, and they worked well on this. And maybe some of these people were singers, because I heard some singing in this. And it had a good message. Now, I don't know how... To be honest, I don't know how Black America feel about him giving the message, but it still was a really good message overall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be one of them things to spark any controversies anytime soon. But I do see that.
Single, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean that too, because I don't know, seeing how the guy he goes in a lot in this album about like, hey, I'm half black and half white, but I'm still able to say all this stuff, and he's. Like he looks white. Yeah, he looks pretty white. Like we mentioned it earlier. Like this guy is like African American gene was really suppressed as far as his aesthetics go.
Yeah.
But man, like you listen to this album, you realize this is a brother. Like this brother's rapping to you right now.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like I don't mind it at all. It's one of them things where it's like you won't see race when you hear this album. If you do, then you were trying to see race. But I have no complaints about this song. Like he had good support for the song other than himself. Like he could have carried the song on his own, but like everyone else who added to something to it did not drag it down.
Yes, of course. My honorable mention, I actually have 2. 1 is Most Definitely. I thought that was probably one of the top lyrical songs on there, which is hard to pick because everything was lyrical with Logic on this record. And then also, if it had a little more changes, it would probably be in my top 3. Then my other one is Confess with Killer Mike. Now, the only thing, I would put it lower than Most Definitely because Killer Mike could rap, but he didn't rap. He just preached in it.
Yeah.
And like I was expecting a verse from him, so it almost like turned me off. But what he said, what he preached on the song, is kind of he did like spoken word a little bit.
Yeah, like slam poetry or something like that
on the beat, and it worked.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. I thought that was really creative, having a rapper actually just talk and do like not actually rap, just like preach and kind of do a little poetry on there. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool too. Like it wasn't necessarily like a an acapella type thing because the beat was still going, but like you just took a second to come back out of the song and just say, hey, here's a message right here real quick. Like this isn't a rap, this is me talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was pretty cool. And Killer Mike, I don't know, Killer Mike is one like probably the most underrated and most conscious rappers out there. Cause like this guy is like deep into politics. Like he's like, you know, talking to politicians and going on you know, certain HBO specials, talking to other you know, lefts and rights on the political spectrum and all that. He's a pretty good guy. I actually wanted to hear a verse out of him because I actually do like his music as well. With Run the Jewels, but I don't know. I agree. I agree with what you said. I kind of wish he did drop a verse on it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the other ones. Let's start, I guess, with the opening. Hallelujah. I liked the song until the second half, which was just the outro.
Yeah.
I thought the outro was too long. It took me out of the song. I didn't even. And it was abrupt in how they cut into the outro. So I was like, when did the song stop? I had to double check to make sure I wasn't like listening to the same song. And I guess another complaint I have on this about this album is I felt like some of the songs, again, I think I said in the beginning, was too long.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't mind monologues, but that shit was way too long.
Yeah.
Some of his monologues were too long and they weren't interesting either. So not only do you have a monologue that's on there, it's not really interesting. A lot of them were, but there were a couple ones I could point out to be like, nah, I could have lived without that. And the one on Hallelujah, I could have lived without. That song is kind of weird because of that.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, this the last song on this album, the two guys walking or whatever like that. Like I feel like that could have been left out. But you know, there are other ones that actually like pull me. Like even though the song, it made, I don't know. I'm stuck in a weird place where I'm wondering if the song was short to add the monologue in, or if the monologue was just that long that the song itself seemed long, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm kind of leaning toward that the monologue just got added and everything just felt long. But yeah, I kind of agree though. This one did kind of like, I mean, I was okay with the monologue itself, but the transition kind of sucked, and I kind of wanted more music at the time because I actually liked the song Hallelujah. Like the song before it was pretty good. I thought it was alright. It's a good first impression for the song if you're going in sequential order.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like, I don't know, you should have left all that for later in the album. That's a little too early to be dragging me out like that.
And then the next song I want to talk about is actually the title of the album, Everybody.
Uh-huh.
It's too short. Like, by the time I was starting to get into the song was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened?
And he could have went places with that song. That's the crazy thing.
It really started off strong, and it was good and good, because after Hallelujah, I was like, okay, come on, man, bring it back in.
Right.
And then I was getting into it, and then it was too short. I don't know. But I gave it higher. I gave it a pretty good ranking only because, like, from what I heard, it was a really good song.
Mm-hmm. You just wish there were more. It's one of them things where it's like, hey, you know, if you want to come revisit this and make like a part 2 or a remix or something like that, that would be most welcome, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I got left wanting more. I kind of felt like I got like a piece of meat dangling in front of my face and I got to chase it down, and there's nothing to really gain out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of, funny enough, it reminds me of Kanye's last album, Pablo, The Life of Pablo.
Really?
Where a lot of his songs felt like unfinished, or like it cut off when I was starting to get into it. And that's exactly the feeling I got from Everybody. Like, I was into it, and then the song was done. And it was abrupt. It wasn't even like a slow cut off. It was like, we are done. Right. We are done. Another one, I guess, that is really short that I also thought, like, is the one with Juicy J, Ink Blot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the title means versus what I was listening to, number one. And number two, surprisingly, Juicy J and Logic actually really worked together. But I think it was a fun song because it ended weird. With Juicy J just saying random.
Yeah.
Use my term, but he was saying random nigga shit. Random nigga shit. And I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? Yeah. But I was still enjoying his flow. Because I didn't think they would work together, and they did. And then they cut the song off with stupidness. But I thought before it got to that, him just saying random stuff, it was really good.
Yeah.
And it was just too short.
It was a healthy collaboration. I do like they did this weird thing where like they didn't necessarily have like their own verses.
They did a duet in a weird way.
They cut in on each other's verse, which was like they did it organically though, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like I don't really see too much of that happening anymore. 'Cause, like on I don't know if anybody really remembers Nas and I think Ziggy not Ziggy, I think it was Damien. Nas and Damien made an album where like, they pretty much did that for the entire album, and that was pretty cool. And I think this is the first time since then I've really heard it done this way. I just wish, like like you said, it kind of gave the same vibe from the last song where you kind of wanted more, because Juicy J kind of did his thing on this one.
Yep.
And he's not the kind of guy I'd really like say some. I don't know.
He got better. He got better as he got
feature,
older.
As a feature too, he does really really good on everyone else's songs as well.
I don't know what it was, but after he won like the Oscar, he got better as a rapper as he got older.
Oscar?
Yeah.
He got an Oscar? That's acting, yo.
You can get an Oscar for music too.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
He got an Oscar for like his soundtrack of Hustle and Flow, I think.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Hard out here for a pimp. That was so weird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Seeing 3 6 Mafia perform that at the Oscars. Taraji was like, what? Anyway.
White people must have been confused.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it, but it's okay. But after he got his Oscar, I was just like, okay. Because I think Eminem also got an Oscar for 8 Mile for his music. But anyway, going back to it. Another one I want to talk about is Waiting Room. Now, I thought it was going to be one thing, and it turned into it's not a song. It's a skit.
Right.
The most confusing skit. And I want to talk about it because basically God was talking to this guy named Adam. Telling him he's going to reincarnate him into other people. And then only when he lives all the lives in his universe will he be able, God explain.
Understand the meaning of life or something like that.
Yeah. And so he said that Adam was Hitler and all his followers. And all the people he killed. Mm-hmm. So I asked Michael, I said, well, if Adam was everybody, does that mean Adam had sex with himself?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I won't take it that literally, because then this podcast is gonna go down the rabbit hole. Trust me, but I don't know, man. Like
that was just a weird. I thought it was blowing my mind.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool because I mentioned before, like, man, I kind of wish that was in the movie because that was kind of mind blowing. Like, I kind of want everyone to like take a second to like I know the transition for songs is a little weird early on in this album, but like when it hits Waiting Room, I want you to like listen to this one. Like, this is really cool.
It's funny, but it's also what the fuck at the same time.
Yeah, it's funny, what the fuck, and thought provoking at the same time. Like, because I was here rubbing my chin, like, really now, I need to experience life from everyone's perspective in order to understand the meaning of life. And I don't know what Adam was. Was he like a homeless guy or something like that? Because he said he wanted to like send him back in time to when he was a slave master, but his son like freed all his slaves or something like that.
I don't know what. All I know is Adam was like reincarnated to some rich slave master, and he was broke before. He was like, but as a black man, you gonna reincarnate to own slaves and stuff? I thought it was really funny. Yeah. It was what the fuck, and it was kind of random in this album.
Yeah.
But it's actually really funny.
Yeah, the placement of this skit was kind of weird, but I actually appreciate it. That's the weird thing.
Where would you place it? Because I don't think it fits on the album at all. You know what?
True. That's the better way to put it. Actually, that's actually better.
It doesn't fit on the album at all, but it is an interesting listen.
Yeah.
But
it'll take you out the music. It'll take you out the music for a second to like poke your brain a little bit. It's not a real song.
It's also part of the reason I kind of voted down, because I was like, even though I enjoyed the skit, I didn't think it flowed with the album at all. I think it broke the flow of the album.
Yeah, and Logic's other album didn't really try a formula like this before.
Yeah.
So I think he just took a shot in the dark with this one.
Yeah, I think it's very creative. Another one, I guess the title is 1-800-273-8255. Try calling that. See what happens.
We haven't.
We haven't.
You let us know.
Exactly. And it has Alyssa Carr, which she does that song Here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here. Anyway. And Khaled, and he does that song Location. And if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. But I don't know if I like this song. I thought, again, well produced. I thought everyone held their own. But it was just an okay song to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad song. It was okay.
Yeah, considering the quality of a lot of the other songs on this album, like every like I said, it's about everyone's album. Someone's gonna have a song that just kind of like falls by the wayside because of how good everything else is. Like everything else might be on a diamond standard, and this comes down to like like a second, third place type thing. So that's what the song really comes into. Like I do like Alyssa Carr singing. I'll give it that much. I think I thought her singing was pretty good.
Yeah.
She had a very short part in the song. I kind of wanted to hear more, but she at least added something to the song. It wasn't just Logic carrying it, and I think she did pretty good. Can't really say much for the other person, but
his voice bores me.
Oh God,
his voice bores me. Even on location, his voice is just boring. I find his voice very boring. Sorry to all his fans out there, but maybe if I hear more from him, I'll like him more. But he kind of like took me even further down. Next one is Anxiety with Lucy Rose. Again, I thought the song was well produced and well combined, but I don't know. I just wasn't pulled in by the song. So I gave it a 7.5 only because lyrically, still a really good lyrics in this record. His flow was amazing. Lucy sounded really good, but overall, it wasn't that type of song that I would play again. To be honest,
I was okay with it. It didn't drag me out of the music, but it was all right. Cause I don't know, I know I'm being a little bit hypocrite here, but I'm actually forgetting the song. But I remember this wasn't one of the songs where I was saying, no, I feel like I need
it's forgettable.
I do need, I do need to revisit because I do actually enjoy Logic, and I want to go through his album one more time because I feel like I might have missed some little things here and there. He's actually talking about some stuff, and I feel like maybe if I go through the song, the songs I didn't like one more time, maybe I'll find some deeper meaning to it or something like that. Something actually I can find to maybe pull me back into it. I don't know. This is one of them songs I'm going to give a second chance to run through with at least.
No, I think I'm good with my my chance with this song. I think I'm good.
Yeah, that's fine. I ain't nothing wrong with that.
I will give a couple other ones a second chance though. Next, Black Spider-Man. I think that's the only song we haven't talked about. Now, here's the thing. This is another song. I thought Damian Lamar Hudson, amazing voice. And one thing I actually liked that Logic did, he let him shine in the song.
Yeah.
The way he was singing, Spider-Man, was really, really good. And his falsetto and his voice was really good. But again, overall, I was just this is another, it's a good song, but it's a decent song. It didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
But it's a decent song. And again, I felt the song was too long as well. I think if they cut
I think it did break 6 minutes, right?
It's not even, it wasn't, because Anxiety was longer than Black Spider-Man, actually. But the same problem I have with Anxiety is the same thing I have with Black Spider-Man. I think both the songs are too long. Cut it a minute off, perfect length, and maybe a little more rearrangement. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, there's some weird padding on this album. I don't know why. Even the songs I do like the most, I say that they had, at least one of them had padding on it. I'm it's a little weird, and I do agree with you about letting him shine. But then I feel like the padding at the end kind of took away from the song and took away from his credit too. Because it wasn't majority rap on the song, to be honest. So.
I mean, it was, because first half of the song was literally Logic.
Yeah.
And then the second half was just him and maybe some Logic. So it was mostly rapping. But he took over and the song was already long when he started taking over.
You see, it's at the end after his part where he's just doing runs is what I'm talking about though. He wasn't necessarily saying
that's the part
lyrics.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was singing the chorus.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really feel like it was a majority of was his or something like that. Yeah, he definitely was on the chorus.
Yeah, so he did the chorus, and then Logic for the most part was rapping, because Logic, one thing about him, he has long verses. And
because he raps fast, so he kind of needs him before he'll be right through his verse in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And another thing was, again, I felt about a lot of things on this album, which is part of the reason I gave it such a low score to all the Logic fans. I felt a lot of the album was either too long, with random singing and pauses, or too long with the monologues were too long. A lot of the songs were either too long or the ones
there's some were too short. Yeah. Or Waiting Room, which good skit, but didn't really have a place in this album, in my opinion. Right. They could use it to just fix that time, making that one to just fix everything else, which I would have appreciated. But
yeah, and I guess we should get into the one I least like, which is it's your number 2. Africa Ryan.
Really?
I can't. No, it's too long for me. It's not even. I can listen to a 13-minute song or 12-minute song, but I got bored during the song, so I can't really mess with that. But again, it's just not for me. I say take a listen and see if you agree with me, but I got bored during that song, so I put it as the one I liked the least. But it wouldn't be lyrically. It would just be like overall.
Mm-hmm.
I found the song kind of boring towards probably past the 6 minute mark. I was kind of bored with the song.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but that's kind of how I kind of also felt about it too. 'Cause I feel like, listen, after this last skit was on it, at the two guys after Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That was the 8 minute mark that you got bored.
I'll still give it to these two guys. Like, at least, I wasn't like super bored by them. I was bored by the last guy who came on, and I feel like, just chop that shit. I no discredit to the guy, 'cause I feel like in his own realm he could probably be really good, but you just had like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Logic right before you. So it's like it's a pretty damn high, and it's the last song on the album too. So I'm like, oh man, come on, man.
His part,
you're supposed to and strong, and he's like, Logic already raps fast, and his pace was real slow.
Well, the song's slow.
Well, I mean, and like I said before, Logic still has a decent pace for everything he raps on.
Yeah,
and it was still slower regardless.
Fast, but a lot of his songs still felt slow. Like, this is not an album to get lit to. Maybe like 2 or 3
there are a couple, songs. Not the whole. Yeah, you're right. Not
majority of this album, you're not gonna get lit to it. You're not gonna hear this in a club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know which song you would hear on the radio. Maybe Take It Back. Maybe Killing Spree.
See, about both those songs, I feel like everything in here is so like politically charged that I feel like they probably won't even make it on radio.
Take It Back would be on the radio. I mean, they played a lot of political stuff because it has a good beat. That's why I think it can make it on there. Even Yeezus, a lot of the Yeezus songs made on there, and that's a whole. Even what was it? Black Skinhead made it on the radio. So I think he would, but majorities, I don't know, would actually make it on the radio. It depends on the radio station, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have any. So overall, I say this is an album that you should listen to. I personally, like I said, I wouldn't really buy it, but I definitely there's some tracks I would buy from iTunes or something like that. I wouldn't buy the whole album though, because I don't like the other songs enough to really buy them. There's maybe 5 tracks I would actually buy off this album.
Yeah, I'd probably put about 4 or 5 out of the 13 that are here. Yeah, because then we're gonna run into the problems we discussed before, and I don't know.
Like, I want to support him because my favorite Logic, I guess, album or mixtape, whatever you want to call it, because I don't know what Bobby Tarantino was, but that's like my literal favorite. And I have his first one, where it has Driving Miss Daisy and
that Pressure, Under Pressure, something like that.
Yeah, I have that one. So I have Bobby Tarantino, but I would not buy this. I would download some songs, and I even suggest listening to the whole thing because it has a really good. It's very good lyrically. I think out of all the rap albums we've listened to on this podcast, this is probably the most lyrical.
I'd also agree with that. I mean,
even Rick Ross was lyrical, but not like this. This was a whole nother level.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird too, like that we can call it that because like how aggressive the album is. But yet he still managed to find a way to squeeze in some actual thought and meaning behind a lot of things, and especially with the addition of everyone else that's with him. I feel like he did a pretty good job making a healthy balance.
His monologues are actually saying something too. They're not just funny skits, because a lot of times on rap albums you get skits that are just supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
He's actually talking about something. So I think overall he's a very conscious rapper, and I think you do need a lot of rappers like him in the music industry. But I don't know how big. I feel like unless you're like a big hip hop fan. Like, not just mainstream hip hop. You listen to everything.
Mm-hmm. You dig around and find stuff.
You're probably not gonna buy this.
I'm just hoping some people hear it regardless.
Yeah, go to Spotify or even iTunes. Let's say you actually want to just support the artist, because we need artists like him to actually be supported. Buy the music. I think it'd be really good. Because even if I listen on Spotify, I still go to iTunes and support and buy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you keep making the music. I mean, kind of like how J. Cole still makes money. He makes, like, conscious rap. And sometimes he makes, stupid rap. But unless people buy it, he wouldn't still be here.
Yeah, of course.
Chance makes money, too. But he's a streamer. Chance Rap is more...
Yeah, he's working with a lot less resources than everyone else is. And he's still,
he chooses to do that because he knows everyone.
I'm just saying the end result is that, he still managed to get there. Because he doesn't want to, sign anything. And I get that. He's taking a long way around because he realizes, listen, man, I'm not going to funnel you guys support through some kind of not money laundering, but money grubbing, record label bosses or whatever they are.
Young M.A.'s like that too, and I'm waiting for her to drop her album. I was disappointed with like her second single, Hot Sauce, but I know she can rap, so I hope that when she gets her album together and she drops it, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, oddly enough, I like Mary J. Blige album a little better.
I'd lean towards this one still. Cause I'm pretty sure I gave them both a similar score, but I'd still lean towards this one. That's just me though. I hate picking between two different genres as far as one I'd rather go towards because I feel like it's a little unfair. I'm gonna always lean towards hip hop a little more, but I don't know. That's just me.
Well, I pick whoever I enjoy more, even though I am an R&B head, as he knows. But I listen more R&B than hip hop. But overall, I enjoyed hers a little bit more than his. And the best album, actually enough, the album that I enjoyed the most was Rick Ross, out of everything. And then Ed Sheeran the second to me.
I'd actually say Rag and Bone Man was I feel like it's kind of weird to do it right now because we're still gonna do more albums later in the year. But like I feel like
we should definitely do that. Like at the end of the year.
Yeah, just compile everything and see how our favorites are or something like that.
Give our our top 10 albums then.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit more than 10, so why not?
Yeah, so we'll give our top 10 albums of the year across all genres. We don't discriminate here. I think Katy Perry's gonna drop an album this year too because she's dropping music videos and stuff. So we'll see that happening. We still haven't listened to Joey Badass, but it's okay.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, so I'm not rushing to do this.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, and who knows? Maybe that album will make us a fan because I know he has a handful. I have 2 songs by him that they're pretty conscious, and I'm wondering if he's gonna start going that route because everyone is starting to get to this post woke phase where it's oh, now we know what's going on with the world, and we're gonna convey it through music.
Oh, the Grammys gonna be this year or next year?
I would not even know.
Because I think we should do a Grammy podcast too, and us, and be give our predictions or who will we pick.
Right,
little special episode.
Sure.
Eventually.
Because I know Shanique often forgets this in the intro, but we also do whatever the hell we feel like sometimes. It's not just movie music and TV shows.
The Grammys is music,
Yeah, I know, I get that, but so far we've only done albums as far as music goes, so
yeah,
it's all. We'll keep our eyes out for it. We'll when we know, you'll know.
Yeah, we'll do our own Grammy. Be yo, this is who we want to win.
Right.
Based on what we listen to. Because sometimes the Grammys is kind of surprising because it does a lot of albums that you've never heard of.
Yeah, how
they sneak in.
What was that guy named Bjork or whatever his name was that beat out what was that? He 2 years ago he beat out I think Beyonce for album of the year or something like that.
I thought it was Beck or something.
Beck. I'm saying Bjork. Never mind. I'm talking about some other person.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's really big, but he's not a genre of music that I normally listen to.
Right. So I don't know. We'll be around for those little surprises and see what happens.
Yeah. I think we covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hit all the songs. So overall, closing this out, I definitely think you guys should listen to the album. I think just for the message alone and the lyricism, it's a good album. But overall, I just felt like sometimes it felt long. Mm-hmm. Some of the songs. But I say listen to it, buy the music, support the artists. We got to support the hip hop artists. Support Logic. I think he's one of the people who really need to get recognized.
Underrated as hell.
Yeah, I definitely think he is. He's been in the game a very long time, and he's underrated by mainstream standards.
And it's weird that we're saying he's in the game for a long time too, because he's so damn young. So
yeah, it takes a long time because Chance was a rapper for a long time, and he got for new artists because he just became mainstream. So he got for new artists,
right?
Even though technically that's inaccurate.
That's pretty true.
All right, so guys, please give us some comments, give us some ratings, let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions of music, TV shows, or movies that we should check out, let us know. And we'll see you on the next episode.
See ya.